So you intro. So, we do like
yeah, like kind of like step them into like, oh, what was that moment like?
Hi guys, how are you? My name is Jasmine Starr. I'm based here in Newport Beach. And Lindy said that she didn't feel like she wanted to be 100% transparent and say, I've never done this before. But I've come to learn and believe 13 years as being an entrepreneur that we bet on the captain, we don't depend on the yacht. And I like, look where we are, right? Like if Lindy were to tell me she's gonna be baking cookies, I'll buy your cookies. Yeah. And I think that we can look around and say that we are betting on each other instead of the idea, because that one iteration is going to lead us to 15 to 20 to 30, and that's okay. And I think that the series that has happened in my life has been, am I okay to pivot? And the answer was always no. But that didn't stop me. And I think that if we walk away with that level of permission to give ourselves the ability to walk away from something that we know is good, that we know is healthy, but yet we also know is predictable and is sucking the life from us, we have one wild and crazy life. And it was not even more transparent of this fact than in 2015, I was at UCLA Law School. I was on a full ride scholarship, and my mom had a relapse with brain cancer. And it was it. The doctor said her time had come and we had to make funeral arrangements. I dropped out of law school. I was suffering from depression. I moved home. I was 25 years old, and I woke up the next morning in my parents' house, and I saw an NSYNC poster on the wall, and I was like, what did I just do? Like, what is wrong with my life? How did I end up here? And it was at that moment that I talked to my high school sweetheart, and I said, I just want my mom to see us get married. We'd been dating 9 years at that time. And we planned a wedding in 3 months, and it was 20 people in Hawaii, and the doctor said she won't be able to fly, and the doctor said she won't be able to walk, and the doctor said she won't be able to talk. And she did all of those things as she walked me down the aisle. And it was in that moment that I realized I don't want to be a lawyer. And I had a full ride scholarship, and I was doing really well. And I thought to myself, as a first-generation Hispanic, as a first-generation college grad, as a first-generation Latina, like, am I going to go back to my parents in the barrio and say, I dropped out of law school? Like, how does that make sense to anybody? And yet that's what I did. My parents supported me. And then my newly minted husband says, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I want to be a photographer. And he's like, oh, you need a camera. And I was like, I know, but if I had a camera, I really think I can make it work. And other people would listen to that and think, you fool, what are you thinking? And instead, that beautiful gem of a soul gifted me a camera. I started a business, and in 3 years, I was nominated as one of the top photographers in the world for a very specific niche of photography. And thank you, thank you. I get really awkward when there's applause. I say that because we started the conversation betting on the captain. And I want us to all give ourselves the permission to say, I'm not necessarily lead yacht in this competition, but I'm going to circumvent, I'm going to go around this world a couple times over. And so I had gotten to a place in my career as a photographer that I felt like, thank you, God, I'm at the 1%. And oh my God, I'm at the 1%. I can't go anywhere else. This is it. And it's good, and it's predictable, and every day looks the same, and it feels great. But my God, have I been here to live a predictable life? And the answer was no. And so we decided, my husband and I as my business partner, we decided to do 2 careers at once, keeping one under the radar, and that's to consult small business owners on how to use social media. We should chat, to grow a business. And it's not necessary. I will say that. It is not necessary. Why? Because the yacht isn't Instagram. The yacht is you. So I believe that whatever she's doing, whatever you're doing, it's going to work for your market. Taking the next step, understand that there's no shame in the side hustle. And I think that a lot of times what we want to put out is a 100% curated version of what we're aspiring to do. But there's so much beauty in the authenticity of you going through the journey, and then the business not thinking what it should be in your mind. It's like understanding that you can have a full-time job and a side hustle. It's very current, it's very fine, and when you let people in on the journey, they become supporters, not watchers of what you're doing. And so I think that when it comes to pivots, the only thing I would love for everybody to walk away with is to bet on yourself. You know where you're going, even if anybody else doesn't. Thank you guys for having us. Appreciate it.